It's not your fault. It's fine. Though it certainly wasn't fine. Anger was still simmering inside of me. However, that wasn't the only reason I sounded so ill at ease. If Haruka hadn't stopped me. Detention, suspension. Those words came to mind uninvited. I'm just saying, I think it would have been worth it just to let go a little bit. It would have felt good. It would have been a satisfying suspension. I was sure that Futaki was hoping that everyone who got close to Haruka would end up like that, even though my opponent was a girl. If I really had hit her, I would have gotten much more than just self-loathing afterward. Oh, it would have felt so good though. I would feel terrible about it. I would. I don't want to. I don't want to hit her. But God, I want to hit her. Letting the blood rise to my head. What had I been thinking? Haruka gave me a dry smile. I don't want to leave you. Haruka, why? Why do we have to obey her? Are we supposed to just ignore what she said and done to you? You're not in the wrong here. It's nothing like that. The sound of hammers beating away at the bench came back to me. It had been a horrible sound. Then the wailing of the breaking wood. It had felt like, besides just the bench, something precious was being destroyed by my very eyes. It doesn't matter. Haruka muttered. Yeah, and that's why she destroyed it. That's why she marked that one to be destroyed, not any other ones. You said that earlier too, right? That you have memories with it. Oh. Riki, hug her. Hug her and say it's not her fault. Haruka quickly bowed her head deeply. You don't have to apologize. Haruka raised her head, showing a forced smile. Even though she said that, I could tell she was bluffing. Because Haruka isn't your left hand trembling. Even though you're putting on such a brave face. Hug her. Rushing out that closing line, Haruka left at a run. I couldn't say anything at all to her. You don't have to pretend. Should I have told her that? All I could think was that Haruka's thoughts and mine on some fundamental level were not meeting. You son of a bitch, go after her! Ah! They didn't have to go that far. I wonder why the disciplinary committee or Futaki was so harsh towards Haruka. The day started with that running through my mind. In the middle of switching classrooms, I remembered that I had left my textbook behind, so I went to the previous room for it. It's not something I often do, leaving something behind in class, but it's an honest mistake that could happen to anybody. The back door of the classroom rattled as I opened it. Textbook. Textbook! Here, textbook. The classroom was empty. Well, at least it was supposed to be. Oh, Haruka. Haruka was looking at the blackboard. What's she doing? Was she planning to write Haruka here at the chalk again? If so, I should stop her. Haruka. Just as I was calling to her, Haruka turned her head and saw me. Her face was ghastly pale. Her lips moved. It can't be. Her lips soundlessly seemed to form those words. All of a sudden, she began to furiously move the blackboard eraser in her left hand. Haruka? I approached the teacher's desk. What were you gonna do? So she had been planning to do some graffiti there after all. No, pretty sure she was gonna do something else. I smiled wryly. I can't do that, Haruka. The prefects will be after you again. Or you can't do that. Come here, Haruka. Haruka's left sleeve was pure white with chalk dust. She must have been drawing something quite sizable on the board. What was I supposed to do with her? You really don't learn, do you, Haruka? Even after Masato yelled at you like that before. Haruka made a show of holding her head. No. Suddenly Haruka's body stiffened. Futaki? The door had been flung open. From the corridor, Futaki was staring at us with an unreadable expression. Go away! I'm just going here to grab a textbook I forgot. Okay. What the fuck's wrong with you? Futaki was suddenly yelling. Wait a sec, Futaki. Jesus! Behind the front of aggressive questioning, somehow I caught just a hint of panic and confusion. Like I said, I forgot one of my books. Jeez, chill, bitch. Calm down. As I answered, slightly bewildered by how Futaki was acting, I was interrupted by Haruka. Huh? Her voice just startled me. Futaki was silent. Haruka was staring at Futaki, her eyes ablaze. They were almost glowing with what? The closest I could come to describe it was a deep, dark, and raw emotion. It was hatred. The air between them crackled with tension. The first one to look away was Haruka. She jerked her gaze away abruptly and left the classroom without another word. What the fuck's wrong with you? After I watched Haruka go, Futaki called to me over my shoulder. What are you talking about? It's about the graffiti. Haruka didn't do it. If it's about the graffiti, Haruka didn't do it. Would you stop blaming her for every small thing that happens? It's no wonder she's always angry at you when you have such a witch hunt going on for her. Futaki let out a small breath. I swear to God. What'd you write? Apparently, having assured herself of something, Futaki issued me one of her standard warnings. What was on that board? When she put it that way, even I had to agree. That's why I had told her to stop. So it wouldn't cause a scene. Last time it was a pain erasing the graffiti. That again, didn't I tell you I have no intention of listening to you? After all this, what are you saying now? Don't get the wrong idea. Haruka's a jokester and a troublemaker. But that's not all she is. I know that for a fact. Now that you mention it. Futaki took off without another warning. Word. She has to be related to Haruka. That's some sibling hatred together. Like, that's just all it is. Futaki, this conversation isn't over. Futaki didn't even look over her shoulder as she said it, and then she was gone. There won't be a third yellow card. I plainly understood that as a prefect, Futaki considered Haruka her enemy. I guess they didn't want a rebellious prank to infect their surrounding students. Anyways, like, they're definitely related. But that's a really, really deep hatred of each other. And it has to be that they have, like, different mothers or something. Like, it just has to be. Like, Futaki is the younger child in this relationship. Or it could be the other way around. But no, her mother wouldn't treat her badly, hopefully. So I'd say Futaki is the younger one, if I had to guess. So it's not like I couldn't see her side of it. She'd taken it upon herself to fill this role. She must have known she would be discriminated, hated, and shunned by many for it. But still. Something was strange about Haruka's circumstances as well. Haruka had to have a reason to hate Futaki that much. If I'd assumed that, there's got to be something going on with Futaki. It has to be a sibling, really bad family dynamic there, because it's just awful. Like, It's so toxic. I thought back. Recalling the dangerous atmosphere from mere moments earlier, I let out a sigh. Which is why I take Haruka's side, because she's the good girl, and she deserves all the head rubs. There were students doing work in the dorm head's room again today. I had come to ask the head of the boys' dorm for some replacement furniture. Thanks for your help. Thanks. The girl's dorm head was busy tidying up some documents on her desk, called to me as I started to leave. Yeah, what is it? I swear to God, could you literally ask me to do anything else? But isn't the committee meeting room right around the corner? Toss it in. If I did it like that, wouldn't they get angry? Literally tosses it in. The dorm head stretched her arms. Oh, my shoulders hurt, she muttered, patting her shoulder. Almost like a granny. That prefect is sorta... well, with the whole business between her and Haruka. A little. What's your nickname? I should have just told her to call me senpai, she sighed to herself. They're also pretty vicious, but yeah, sure. Irritating is a word. Haruka did? No. Maybe I just don't, and then I can hang out with Haruka if not. See, last time I did stuff that involved Futaki, I got a bad ending. So let's do it again. Got it. I swear to God, if I have to see Haruka crying again, I'm going to punch someone through a wall. Well then, excuse me. I left the dorm head's room. I was feeling tense already, but I figured it'd be fine if I just dropped off the report. Still, I was interested in what was going on with Haruka too. Can't believe she's just harmlessly attending their meeting. For that moment, I just headed toward the unused classroom. I just don't trust this. Oh, it's occupied now. The normally silent classroom was now loud with a crowd of voices. I peeked in from the back door, and it looked like they were in the middle of a debate. What was I supposed to do? I didn't want to interrupt the meeting. What? The cause for my small outburst was Haruka. She pulled me in one of the seats at the back of the classroom. What are you doing? Even so, this is still... Wait, so she's preparing to launch an offensive? I facepalmed. I didn't know what to say. The prefect slammed her hand onto the blackboard. It didn't sound like a girl, but okay. It was a familiar looking scene. That is, it was one I had seen of those police shows where they post all the usual suspects on a board to figure out the culprit. The explanation continued. The prefect proposed something like a regular patrol around the vending machine outside, due to a particular mischievous student. Since I had been there too at the time of the incident, that didn't sit well with me. Haruka, let's get out of here. Just as I was about to stop her, Haruka bolted out. Jesus. There's a stir among the prefects.
今の報告には意義あり。私は何もしてない。疑いありなんて言われるの心外。そん
Haruka.
なことをわざわざ言いに来たの？
Futaki, standing up in the middle, from the very front seat, turned to look back at us. Haruka's body stiffened. You didn't think she'd be here? Okay, apparently she wasn't supposed to be here. Haruka's confidence withered away in stark contrast with the coldness Futaki addressed her with.
いつ休もうと私の自由でしょ。とにかく
Haruka hit her palm on the desk
も
twice.
ちろん抗議しに来たの。何もしてないし、あの場では納得してたよ、いいの子。どうだか見つからなかったらしていたんでしょ、あなたは。
Yeah, did anything happen though?
あなたは疑われてもしょうがないものね。普段が普段、いつもがいつもだし。
Doesn't mean always guilty.
やってもいないこと吹聴するのは不正義ですらあると思うよ。不正義？
Futaki let out a light, mocking laugh.
そういう言葉はもっと真面目でルールを守る人間が言うべきよ。簡単なことでしょ。周りに迷惑をかけない。きちんと秩序を保って規則を守る。たとえそうしていても目の敵にするくせに。
I co-sign that.
それはあなた次第よ。ナオエリキ、あなたもそう思うでしょ。
Yeah, I agree with Haruka that you'd mark her as an enemy regardless.
リキ君は関係ないでしょ。
Damn right I have something to do with this.
関係大いにありよ。だいたいあなたたちの評判をそれ以上落としてどうするの？普段からいろいろ騒がしいあなたたちなのだし、クルガヤさんたちも迷惑だと思ってるんじゃないかしら。
What kind of bullshit lie is this?
ユイネはそんなこと言わない。第一、今は私の話でリキ君やユイネは関係ない。関係ないと思っているのはあなただけよ。三枝遥か放課後よく一緒にいるらしいじゃない。あまり見せつけられても困るわね。
Why?
不純異性交友で指導室行きになっても知らないわよ。
What? What kind of bullshit's this? What?
あなたが誘ったのか彼が乗ったのか知らないけど。
The eyes of all the prefects in the room, some underclassmen among them, of course, felt as painful as needles. I could hear them whispering. What sexual relationships going on here? Suggestive glances were exchanged. They're all looking at me with faces mixed with contempt.
何をいきなり。
We haven't done anything yet.
そんなゲスな勘繰りをするなんて性格歪んでるんじゃないの。どっちに対するものがゲスな勘繰りなのかしら。
The part where you're implying that she's gonna end up in a counseling room for an illicit sexual relationship.
彼のこと？それともあなた自身のこと？でも三枝遥が悪いに決まってるんだけどね。
Of what?
あなたはごくつぶしのろくでなし。役立たずだもんね。
And you're a fucking gun. What the jerk, Haruka's left fist drew back.
あなたが悪いのよ。黙れ。あなたがいなければ問題ないのよ。
Reiki holder, get her out of there.
黙れ。あなたが。
Haruka. Haruka suddenly threw over the desk. The loud noise echoed around the room. The classroom
そんな
erupted.
目で。揃ってそんな目を。あいつらみたいな目して。私を見ないでよ。
Kicking at the desk, Haruka made a grab for the nearest prefect. Haruka, you can't stop it. Panicked, I held Haruka back from behind. Come here. But she was violently flailing around with her arms and legs, just like a child throwing a tantrum. I am. Shut up. And don't put your hand in her mouth. In a twinkling, the room was resounded with cries and yells.
離せ。お前らになんかわかるもんか。離せ。
Can I get her out of here? After it was over, we were put on cleaning duty.
ごめん。
Haruka muttered, a rag hanging limply in one hand. That's fine. Even though I said that, my body was covered in scratches and bruises. Why? I hurt all over and right and my right cheek and spine were aching. Oh, did they beat the shit out of me? Why? I couldn't even remember how many punches and kicks I'd taken. What the shit's this? I didn't do jack shit. What? What?
ごめん。
Haruka repeated herself. Nah, I'm gonna kick their ass. I understand you're upset with all those accusations, but freaking out like that is still wrong. Even so, it was Futaki that had pushed her over. Even before I'd come to back her up, she had been kept kindling Haruka's flame. At the very least, Haruka's cheerful troublemaker image had been shattered completely. Haruka merely hung her head dejectedly and didn't respond. Haruka, you're acting strange. Normally you'd make a comeback at that. To be sure, Haruka had caused her fair share of disturbances. She was just a goofy joker who loved funny and strange stuff. If you compared the fight with the prefects with their earlier stuff, the difference was too striking. Something wasn't right, I thought.
きしむの。
Hmm?
絵がきしむの。うまくいかないの。だから楽しくないの。いつもなら楽しいのに。いつもなら辛くないのに。いつもなら理由は分かってるんだ。きっとそうに違いないんだ。
You're talking about Futaki?
大嫌い。
Haruka spat out the words. I would too.
あら、奇遇ね。私も嫌いだわ。
Oh my god, go away!
教
Futaki,
室の掃除は終わった？ちゃんと片付けた？
go away!
床の水拭きとガラス窓拭きも。
We're done with all of it.
お疲れ様は言わないわよ。
I won't tell you to go kill yourself.
乱闘騒ぎを起こしたんだものね。後片付けぐらいで済ませるなんて穏便なものだわ。
Because that's bad to do. I put a reassuring hand on Haruka's back. We're done, so may we return to the dorms.
もちろん。これに懲りたら余計な主張なんかしないことね。
I hope you will learn one day to stop being such a cunt.
隅っこで邪魔にならないようにおとなしくしてなさい。三枝遥。
No.
あなたにはそれがお似合いなんだから。
As if remembering something to that point, Futaki corked her lips a little. God, can I just spit on her?
整備委員会だっけ？役立たずのね。
What are you trying to say?
執行部以下の委員会。全部言える？
Who gives a fuck? Wait, all of them? Startled by the sudden question, I started taking them off of my fingers. Library committee, culture committee, health committee, sports committee. I swear to God, Reiki, if you forget the maintenance committee, I swear to God.
風紀委員会もね。
I can forget that one. Other than that, broadcast committee, housing
もうい
committee.
くつかあるけどね。生徒手帳に書いてあるわよ。そして整備委員会は存在しないの。
So?
この春に風紀委員会に統合されたのよ。
Oh my
だか
God.
らないの今は。
Futaki didn't look at Haruka as she spoke
知
only
っ
at
て
me.
た？
I don't care. No, I
そん
didn't.
なものよね。委員会活動はしてない人にはわからないものだし。
I don't care. As though as an afterthought, Futaki mentioned that it made the club meetings even
だ
drier.
から三枝遥。役立たずは引っ込んでなさい。
Jesus.
暴れて机をいくつも壊して。自分で壊したそれを自分で直すつもりなの？バカらしい。最低ね。
Haruka's left wrist trembled visibly. Can I just take a desk leg and beat her with it?
大事なお
Oh.
友達にも教えなかったのよね。どう？この子の空回りっぷり面白いでしょ？自分が潰したくせに生徒会に根回しして潰したくせに
Of course she did.
潰した？そんなことを言われるのは心外よ。
I don't care what you find offensive.
だって風紀委員会には元整備委員もいるのよ。
Oh yeah, do you guys do anything with it? No, of course not. Okay.
休眠状態だった委員会の仕事も積極的に引き受けた結果なんだから。だからね、あなたは何もしなくていいのよ。
Do you do anything? Her words were kind of on the surface, but her voice was steeped in
この子に
sarcasm.
何を言われたかわからないけど、所詮は自分のわがままが通らなくって暴れてるだけなんだから。じゃあね。
Futaki laughed. Haruka?
ごめん、リキ君。一人にして。
I don't want to. But Haruka.
一人にして。
Okay, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone. Alright. Haruka hung her head, shoulders trembling. I saw no option but to do as she had told me. Sometimes she needs some space. But I want to talk to you later. At the entrance of the dorm, I ran into Futaki. I just want to knock her the fuck out. Was she out on patrol? Well, she didn't have any other prefects with her. She was twirling a ballpoint pen around in her right hand. She's gonna be twirling around it. Is she waiting for someone? No, probably not. I didn't look at her, simply continued to walk on my way. Yeah, she's obviously gonna wait for Haruka.
ちょっと話があるんだけど。
Fuck off! Ignore,
呼んでるの
ignore.
に無視するなんてひどいと思わない？
Don't you think it's pretty cruel to do everything what you're doing to Haruka? No, of course not. I'm pretty sure you've done some cruel things too, just like a bully.
人でなしね。
Futaki shrugged. She slipped the ballpoint pen into her pocket with a
そう
sigh.
ね。その通りね。あなたにそう言われるのはもう慣れたわ。毎度毎度のことだし。
What was going on? I wasn't sensing any hostility in her words today. You got something to talk with me about? Futaki looked at me. Her glance was as piercing as a bullet.
ねえ。あなたは幸福が棟梁だと思う？
Everyone has the equal opportunity to probably have some happiness, but not really. It really just depends. Especially with how many people are trying to deny that happiness. I had no idea what she was suddenly
世
asking
界にあ
about.
る幸と不幸は総量が決まっているとする。
It's not a zero-sum game.
誰かが幸福になれば誰かが不幸になるゲーム。
No. I don't think that's how it works like that. It's not game theory here.
そうかしら。プラスとマイナスがぐるぐる回ってゼロに戻ってくるゲーム。なかなか面白くできてると思わない？世間の構造としては。
No, because you can have a lot of scenarios where both parties are mutually happy. But whatever, fuck it. Well, if that were true, I'd say that the ratio of sadness in the world is a little unbalanced. Someone's unhappiness, another happiness. If you think of it that way, would you even stop wishing for the happiness of those dear to you?
そうね。確かにそうね。
After that answer, Futaki fell silent. It's hard to tell what she was thinking from her expressionless face. But it seemed like she was hesitating about something. That's what you wanted to ask me?
それだけよ。ま、せいぜい頑張ることね。
Do my best at what? Futaki gave a small shrug.
たまには話してみるものね。有意義だったわ。
No. You're not gonna try to be like, trying to worm your way into me. No. Haruka only. This area, Haruka has her name etched into it. Fuck off. Property of Haruka. Get out of here. Having said that, Futaki spun on her heels, headed off toward the female dorm. Shoo. Don't you dare try to. Don't even dare. What was that? I had no idea what she was talking about. I shook my head.